Hello, and today we're going to be reviewing this Makita lithium-ion brushless 18-volt subcompact drill and driver set. This is a set that I bought 4.5 years ago. I did the math. It's 4.5 years of punishment, abuse, and a ton of labor. It has been an excellent set. They do not look as pretty as they were when I bought them. Obviously, being black, they kind of stand out. That being said, they're not as pretty. I do like Makita in black though. Nothing wrong with the blue or green or whatever it is, but I prefer the black just for the sake that it's, I don't know, more tactical or something. That being said, it came in this cloth bag. It is a beautiful bag. I'm joking. I don't care about the bag. It's a zipper bag with a divider. The divider's pretty flimsy. The bag is okay for hauling around lightweight tools to a friend's house or something. Not fantastic on a job site, not fantastic on a home project. Half the time it goes in the grass and then it gets all wet on the bottom. Overall, I prefer a blown plastic case, but here we are. So this is fine. I'll put it by the background for the moment. The drill and the driver both come with a 1.5 amp hour battery in this configuration. Obviously, you could buy these together or separate tool only with whatever batteries you want. I like the 1.5 amp hour batteries. They complement the set well in that these are sub-compact, meaning that they're not as big as the traditional full-size tools. However, it's not so much that you're losing out on major performance as much as that you're gaining agility and function. These are incredibly lightweight. Anybody with even small hands can manipulate these very well. They get into good tight spaces and they work very well. This is a Makita DDF483. You can read that there. Metal chuck, 20 settings for drill depth / torque, 2 speeds for power, 1 with low speed, very low startup speed. That's the full number 1. Full number 2 again, not a bad variable speed. Nice little LED. Don't cover it with your finger while you're using it or else you'll block your own light. You get used to it. Otherwise, obviously there are some that have them down below, some that are adjustable, which is wonderful. Being brushless, I find you get a couple of hours of drilling time out of a 1.5 amp hour battery, which is pretty good. You could obviously bring out a 3 amp hour battery or a 5 or a 6 or whatever, and it will last longer, but increase the weight. 1.5 amp hours or 1 amp hour or 2 is complementary to a tool that's already small and light. There's not much to say about the drill. It drills holes. There's obviously videos where you can watch this thing drill 20 holes in 16.5 seconds or whatever, and that's cool. In the end though, it drills holes quickly and efficiently with the quality of the drill bit that you put in it. That being said, the real crown jewel here is the impact driver. It is, in my opinion, what you buy the set for. I mean, you can buy it separately, of course, but when you get it, you're going to be happy with the impact driver. It is also small. It has a relatively short, I guess, body to nose ratio, as in the distance from where your handle and trigger are to where the tip of the bit goes is pretty short. There are some newer models now, 4.5+ years later, that are obviously smaller now. Probably even the full-size versions of these tools may also have smaller noses and even more compact frames. But that being said, this works very well. I'm certainly not out to replace it as a homeowner. I think that it's excellent. And again, can it drive so many screws in 10 seconds? Maybe it's not the fastest either, but that's not the point. This is excellent. So again, super lightweight, very agile, even lighter. You can see here, I can manipulate it. It's almost silly, and it gets into really tight places between frames. Framing in houses or between walls and drywall, whatever it might be, it's great. They both have belt clips, which is nice. This one has LED light, the same configuration. It has an automatic setting, you can see down here, and it has a high and a low as well. The big one for me is that I really, really like, as a homeowner, as someone who has not an everyday usage of the tool, I like the fact that this has an automatic setting. And by that I mean it will drive a screw, and it starts out by ramping up the torque. So I'm going to drill a hole for you here, just so we don't crack the board. So you can see that was power level 2, if anybody's watching. I'm going to put a Robertson bit in here. larger Robertson. I'm going to drill the screw in. I want you to notice that normally when you drill a screw, I'm just going to clear that off so you can see. When you drill a screw, you start the screw, you hit the hammer down on this thing because you're in a weird tight spot, and what happens is you slip and bam, you screw up your face of your melamine or your deck or whatever it is, and you go, dang, I wish I wouldn't have started that so fast, or I wish that screw was a little bit in there better. This particular impact, like I said, it has a automatic setting. So what's going to happen is we get it obviously magnetic in there. You get it in, started it where your hole was if you pre-drilled. In this case, again, it's softwood. It's going to crack on me. And I'm going to start. You're going to hear it starts slow. It almost chatters. And then it ramps up. And by the time you're done, you'll realize, hey, that went in really smooth. And because of the speed, didn't over penetrate. It went in pretty fast. I mean, was it a race? No. Did it go in very smoothly with little effort from the impact? Absolutely. And in the end, it is perfectly flush because it wasn't going too fast. And I had that thing all the way down. You can see it's not that fast, but once it starts detecting the amount of resistance it's getting, it ramps up the speed to make it so that it will drive it in a consistently smooth fashion, which in my opinion is it leaves for a nice end product. So here we are. You're left with the fact that this is a nice Makita subcompact set. I would highly recommend this type of set to somebody. It doesn't need to be this set. I don't expect you to go out and hunt down a 4.5-year-old set of tools, especially if you watch this video 5 years from now. There's no point. But any subcompact line, whether it be DeWalt's or Milwaukee's, maybe Metabos or Rigids, maybe not Rigids, but maybe like Ryobi's, I don't know. Mastercraft, there's a bunch of options, Canadian or not, that are good. And I think that if you pick one and you stick with it as far as, battery line goes, you'll be happy. They all function basically the same. Some of them obviously cost more. Makita is not known to be the cheapest, but it has a great name for durability. Milwaukee's made a name for itself of being very powerful, but maybe has some other issues in other lines. DeWalt, I think, is kind of in the middle all around. Ryobi's a bit cheaper and is maybe doing okay for itself and with certain tools, so on and so forth. I think that if you just do a little bit of research on which kind you want, but think about the fact that subcompact is a great way to go for a homeowner who's doing anywhere from mild to highly moderate work, and I think you'll be quite happy with the outcome of your purchase. And if you have any questions about this line of tools or anything else, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Take care.